Hey guys, my name's Evan Charney.
And I'm Carlos Murrieta.
And welcome to On Deck. This is our show about baseball, MLB, and WSU baseball.
So for all you baseball lovers out there, this is your show.
Today's topics will include going over MVP, Cy Young, and Rookie of the Year predictions.
And on top of that, we will go into MLB MVPs as well, and of course, playoff predictions and what to expect from each team. So without further ado, let's get into the show. Let's kick things off with the Rookie of the Year. Starting the AL, I already got Julio Rodriguez, no doubter right there.
Absolutely.
And runner-up, Adley Rutschman, which is a power-hitting catcher right there.
Absolutely.
Who I love. And he's been a huge player in the Orioles.
I agree. Julio has had a dominant season and has pleased M's fans thus far. He leads eligible rookies in runs, or he's in second in runs, and he leads in homers with 27, has 140 hits in his third, 73 RBIs, which is second, and a 280 batting average. And for a rookie, those numbers are something that you can look forward to.
Oh, yeah, and that's promising right there, as the Orioles are still rebuilding in a way, technically. So they're only going to get stronger. And along with Adley here, he's just going to get stronger and bigger. And he's a young kid right now. And they just called him up. Orioles are going to be a scary team in the future. And you know what? They had I feel bad for the Orioles. They had a long and painful rebuild for years now. And now they're just coming back into playoff contention once again. And we have not seen that in the 2010s. And here we're in the 2020s. They're making a comeback right now.
No, the Orioles were a big surprise for this year, at least. They got rid of Trey. They traded him away to Trey Mancini. They traded him to Houston. They dumped all their good players and were fully focusing on the rebuild. And here they are making a playoff push, which is very unexpected. And big thanks of that is to Adley, who was, I think he was the first overall pick or one of the first rounders at least out of Oregon State. And he's putting up great numbers. He's a defensive brick wall behind the plate. He's doing great things for the Orioles.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But he's only going to continue to grow. But I want to move on to Julio here for a second, all right? Because here, and of course in the Palouse here at WSU, if you go to WSU, you know the name Julio Rodriguez without a doubt. As, of course, Seattle on the west side over here, we have a lot of Seattle fans, of course. And he's batting right now 300. And you know what, for a rookie, that's pretty damn good.
It's pretty good.
And especially with a huge contract, which I don't want to get into the details because there's a lot of details that confuse me still.
M's have him on lock for a couple of years now. So.
Oh, more than a couple of years so far.
14, I believe it was.
14 years. I know he's guaranteed at least $200 million right now.
Yeah.
So, and it could go up to $450, I believe.
If he stays productive the way he is, M's have their franchise player for the next 2 decades.
Without a doubt. And especially with Ty France, and you got that amazing bullpen in the back to help you out. I believe it's called the Fireman. I forgot what it's called in Spanish.
Los Bomberos.
That's it right there.
Los Bomberos.
Los Bomberos. So, you know what? The Mariners are looking good too with Julio in that lineup. If they can stay consistent with Julio there, I don't see them having much troubles. But, of course, they have to stay on top of their offensive power too because they've been struggling there. But the pitching has been keeping them in, without a doubt. And
I really liked your pick for runner-up for Adley. However, I have a different pick. It's a little different. He's a little bit more under the radar, but outfielder Steven Kwan for the Indians. He has been under the radar a little bit, but he is making an impact. He has put up some pretty solid numbers overall. He's got a 301 batting average. For a rookie, that's something you love to see. He's got a 777 OPS. He doesn't really have too many homers. He's not really a power guy, but he's more of a contact hitter. And defensively, he's definitely helping those Cleveland Indians make a playoff push right now for those wild card. Or not even the wild card, but Cleveland just clinched the other day.
They did.
With a really young roster, too. And Steven Kwan has been a key player in that.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I have to agree with you there. He could be a possible runner-up, but in my opinion, I don't really
Julio.
see it. It's still Julio.
It's still
going to be Julio.
It's not close.
Like, of course, this is all opinion here, but I think we know it's going to be Julio here at the end of the day.
Julio's had a statement year thus far, and hopefully, and M's fans are probably hopeful of this too, but I don't see him slowing down in the next couple of years.
Oh, no, he won't. But you know what? Julio is going to be the franchise player soon to be for the M. So M fans, get ready because you're in for a ride. As long as everyone else stays consistent, but we'll see. But all right.
For National League.
National
League rookie. My pick for National League Rookie of the Year is none other than outfielder Michael Harris for the Braves. He has put up some crazy numbers so far for just being a rookie. He leads eligible rookies in runs scored, which is 75, hits 120, homers 19, 64 RBIs, a 304 batting average, and an 876 OPS. And he leads. He's in first for eligible rookies in all those categories. For me, that does not make it close.
Oh, no. And he has been a star as well, helping the Braves right now surpass the Mets in the second half, which honestly for the Mets, it's not surprising for me as they fall again in the second half and become the low Mets once again, because that's who they are. And
but those Braves, the defending champion Braves, they're for Michael Harris to be an addition to them.
Oh, that's a big addition.
He's helping out
After
a lot.
losing Freddie Freeman.
After losing
and
Freddie?
Olsen, and they have it was a weird offseason for them. It's like, okay, we lost Freddie, but you know what? That's okay. And they grabbed Olsen, easy, right off the bat. You got Harris, and then they came in. They had a rocky start in the beginning of the year. They did. They were going on losing streaks. They looked lost, and then I don't know what happened in the clubhouse, but they turned things around.
Something sparked.
Something did. And you know what? There's a fire lighting up for Atlanta. And as a Padres fan, if we faced them in the wild card series, I'm going to be scared a little bit because they have a lot of power defensively and offensively, and they can do a lot of damage with that. And I can see them going for a repeat.
As a Yankees fan, I would really love to see those Braves knock out the Mets. I would love to see the Braves come out, just steal it from the Mets, and go for a repeat because I think they have the strength to do it. They have the guys to do it. They've got Albies is coming back. They've got Dansby Swanson, Matt Olson, Austin Riley over at the hot corner. They've just got a really good rotation for starters. They have their relievers. They're looking ready to go. And Michael Harris has definitely been a key contributor for them for this second half push.
Yep. But you know what? As I agree with Michael Harris, he's a big contributor for the Braves. But my pick is going to be Spencer Strider here, right-handed pitcher, also for the Braves. Because you know what? Pitchers don't get talked about enough. They really don't. Right now, all you see is big bats going in. It's all about power hitting. Like, for example, Trout right now, who's been on and off injury right now. But he already got the bag, though, so he's chilling. But I like Spencer Strider, though. Right now, putting up a 2.96 ERA with 45 Ks, 6 walks, and 27 innings. You can't tell me that's not bad. It's
pretty good.
There. That's pretty good. And he's also been a key contributor for the Braves as we stay on the Braves in this topic. And right now, it's a tight division race between the Mets and the Braves as it comes down to the wire, as it's only a half-game lead right now between. So it's just back and forth, and we're not going to see it until the last few games of the season. So,
all right.
Yeah, that's my hot take there.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And then I think we can agree on our runner-up at least for NL Rookie of the Year, but my pick is the Pirates' O'Neal Cruz over at shortstop. To say the least, he has brought energy to the game of baseball, both on the field and both in the batting order. His defense has been electric so far and has proven to be very helpful for those Pirates.
Oh, yeah.
And his arm, I can't even pull up the stats right now, but his arm strength is just crazy. He's had some of the fastest infield throws of the season and in the StatCast era with like 99, almost breaking 100. It's insane.
That's crazy to see. When I first saw that, I was like, there's no way an outfielder could do that, to break 99. But at the same time, we've been seeing a lot of players, especially pitchers more, break 100. And so far, we've seen over 1,600 pitches over 100 miles per hour, which is absurd in this day of age. But looking at stats right now, 228 batting average, which is below league average, but still, he's stellar when it comes to defensive. And as like you said, he still has that cannon, 739 OPS, 283 on-base percentage. But you know what? As a designated hitter, he's still got time to grow. He's going to be stronger, so I'm not worried there, but still, he's a key contributor.
As a hitter, I'll agree. He does need some improvement. He needs some work. He's got, however, in eligible rookies, he's got 17 homers, which is third for eligible rookies, and he's got 53 RBIs, which is second. So he's definitely contributing somewhat, but I agree he's definitely more of an asset on the field right now defensively at shortstop. then he is off. But again, he's just a rookie,
Yep.
so give him a couple years. He'll grow, he'll become a better hitter, and he'll become a very valuable asset for those Pirates who are trying to rebuild right now.
Yep, and they still got years to go for them Pirates. But I want to shift our attention now to the MLB MVP here. So I want to start us off with the AL. And of course, I think it's no doubter, especially for you.
Oh, yeah.
It's Aaron Judge, who is on his way.
See him right there?
On his way to 61 right now. But do you think he could get more, though?
Oof, here's the thing. The way they've been pitching to Judge right now, I believe in the game against Toronto yesterday, they walked him 4 times, and he went 0 for 1 with 4 walks. They're avoiding him. They don't want him to get it. They know he's a home run hitter. They know he's a contact hitter. Let's go into it really quick. He's no doubt MVP for AL. I respect Ohtani a lot. Pitching and hitting, it's very difficult to do. So props to him, but in my eyes, it's not even close. He leads all of Major League Baseball in these following categories: batting average, runs, home runs, RBIs, on-base percentage, slugging, OPS, extra base hits, WAR, total bases, and walks. And not to mention, he's currently on Triple Crown watch, which has not been done since Miguel Cabrera of the Tigers in 2012. That's absurd. He leads first place in all of those categories, and his home run chase is impressive to watch, and has got all of Major League Baseball fans watching games whenever they can to try and see number 61. He's got 60. You don't see people breaking 60 that often.
No, never. But at the same time, Shohei has talent. You don't ever see anyone pitch and hit, especially in the same game. That's the little league stuff right there, especially when he has an ERA of, it's not pulled up for me, so, but I guess it's below 3. Below 3 or above 3, it's not off that much, but he is throwing. He's the reason why the Angels are still relevant as long as Trout. But I would say if you gave me a choice to pick between Trout or Ohtani, without a doubt, I would kind of pick Ohtani here. He can do both for you. And you know what? You get a 2-for-1 player right there. And I say that's a bargain right there that you can take.
Absolutely. But I did just get a live update, and Aaron Judge did, in fact, just hit home run number 61. Talk about timing, folks. Talk about timing.
It is 6:13 Pacific Standard Time right now, September 28th, as we film. So
that ties Mickey Mantle's American League record. That's absurd. That's absurd. We're witnessing history right now.
I didn't know.
And there's still 7 games left in the season, right? Mm-hmm.
Yep, we still got a little bit to go. So you know what? He can keep building up there. But
absolutely.
Let's shift our focus to the NL, as the AL is now giving me a headache.
NL MVP race, it's a little bit tighter. I'm gonna say it's a little bit tighter for me. Personally, it's a struggle for me to pick a number 1. But I'm gonna have to give it to Paul Goldschmidt of the Cardinals. His impact on the team has just been something that you don't see too often. You've got Goldschmidt and you've got Arenado carrying the Cardinals to another postseason. Mm-hmm. And it's the last postseason with both Yadier Molina and Albert Pujols, and I really love to see that. But for Goldschmidt, he's putting up some pretty good numbers overall, and he's making himself an impact player. He leads the National League in OPS with 990, is 3rd in average with 319, hits 114 RBIs so far, which is 2nd, and 35 homers. Those numbers, that's production. Yeah. That's just sheer production.
Hey, don't forget about Adam Wainwright as well. That's his last few years as well.
Absolutely.
But you know what? I'm going to be on the more negative here on Paul Goldschmidt. Yes, he's a very good defensive player. I will give him that. He gets hits. He does. It shows. His average shows that clearly. But you know what? The Cardinals don't rely on 1 or 2 players. They are all around, especially with veterans. As you see, Yadi and Wainwright and Pujols.
Still producing.
They are still producing.
His last season.
Yeah. So I don't think it's just I forgot who we were talking about. Paul Goldschmidt here. So I don't think I could give it to him. Yes, he's been producing. As some of you may be surprised here, I think it's more Manny Machado. I have to give it to Manny, okay? He's been more of a team player, okay? He has been carrying the Padres when they are down. Even in the month of August, they playing below 500 ball. He's still wrecking, hitting home runs, keeping the Padres in games. especially after the All-Star game. There is, I'm going in here. The pitching has been absurd, okay? In a bad way, not a good way, but man, he makes everything look so easy from his swing defensively, and come on. He has that glove at third. He makes everything look too easy, and I just have to give it to him. He's just more of an impact player, especially when it comes to veteranship, and he's a leader. He leads his players, okay? Yes, I'll give it to Goldschmidt. He can hit, but I don't see him leading that much. Machado, he is all around, clubhouse, on and off the field, and he is a big contributor.
I will give him credit because currently, without him, Padres would be struggling in their playoff push right now.
Yep.
But he's definitely making an impact, especially with losing Tatis. You need that impact. Sorry to bring that up, but you need it without Tatis in there.
Yeah.
He's definitely making an impact in that clubhouse, both on and off the field. He's an impact player. He's putting up production. He's making the numbers. He's making the plays in the field. He's doing it for the Padres. However, I would even give my runner-up MVP over Machado, because we cannot forget about the Dodgers' newest addition, Freddie Freeman, first baseman. He's having a solid year all around.
Yeah.
Last year with the Braves, amazing. This year with the Dodgers, carried it right over. He leads the National League in runs with 112, hits 191, batting average 327, and is ranked second in OPS with 922. He's still producing. He's producing. He hasn't changed since coming over from Atlanta. He's putting up the same numbers, and just to your point, he's a leader. He's a leader in that Dodgers clubhouse. And yes, the Dodgers are just full of talent all over. You got Mookie, you have starting pitching, but Freddie is, I would argue, top guy on the Dodgers, carrying them to another playoff push. And they're looking really scary. They're looking like a World Series contender, and a big part of that is thanks to Freddie.
Yep, Freddie has also made himself at home after the whole Braves and his agent drama, but he's been able to find his way back home. But speaking of which, what you just mentioned, the playoff push, let's finish it off there before we end it here into our last segment of the playoffs. So, as we saw in the playoffs, it's winding down. We still got about a week and a half to go. And a lot of places already have been clinches already in the AL and NL. But, of course, we're looking at the AL wildcard as there's more drama right there. And I want to focus there right now because Toronto, Tampa, Seattle, and Baltimore, of course. And it's a tight race right now between all four right now. So, you know what? If Seattle can keep what they're doing right now, they're going to be okay. Toronto, I don't have to worry about. They're going to make it in. But it's just, is it Baltimore? Are they going to have enough juice in the tank in order to make it? Probably not.
I don't know. So if you're let's get an overview really quick. You got Houston already clinched. Yankees already clinched their division. Cleveland surprisingly clinched their division, which was a big shocker for a lot of MLB fans. AL wildcard race. Toronto, if they keep playing, well, Yankees might give them something to worry about, and they might not get the top wildcard seed anymore. But I would bet to say both Toronto and Tampa are making it. That AL East division is just a powerhouse up there. So I have no worries about them making it. With Seattle and Baltimore, though, I'm a root for Seattle. I think everyone's rooting for Seattle. They want them.
Oh, yeah.
They want them in the playoffs. They really do. But the way they've been playing, I'm worried for them. I really am. Baltimore's only 3.5 games back. If Seattle keeps losing games, which they've been doing, they're on a losing streak of 2, but their last 3 and 7. Baltimore's 5 and 5. So depending on matchups, Seattle's rotation, not been great. Their bats have been silent. They have not made any noise whatsoever. Their rotation's all right, but Baltimore's just, I feel like Baltimore has more of an energy with them right now.
They do, but is it enough, though? With 3.5 games back, as long as Seattle could play at least 500 ball, they're going to be okay, but I just don't see it happening. And, of course, you still see Chicago and Minnesota in the mix, but I think we can already rule them out.
I think
they're too far out.
Boston just got eliminated from contention a day or two ago. Minnesota and Chicago, that was my pick for AL Central. I was going to think division leader for them was going to be one of those guys because they got a lot of different talent all across the board, both on the field, in the lineup, in the rotation, in the bullpen. But Cleveland honestly just surprised me with their young talent.
Oh, yeah. Somehow, as half of them are, or not half, but a good handful are ex-Padres. that we dumped, and we are not going to go into that or else I will get emotional, but that's okay. So I think we can agree Tampa, Toronto, Seattle, they're going to make the wild card.
I think Seattle and Baltimore, they're going to make it close just based on Seattle losing and Baltimore winning, but I'm going to have to agree. I think Seattle, they're going to barely hold on, and I'm here for it. I'm going to enjoy seeing that.
And just in Seattle fashion, they're going to give their fans a heart attack. So, but at the end of the game, they know they're going to be okay. But hey, Seattle fans are just going to be happy if they make the playoffs. They don't care if they win the World Series. If they make the playoffs, make a good run, there's nothing to be sad about. That's a good year for them, especially with the years of failure. So basically, Seattle has a legacy of failure, but no worries. But
on that note, I do want to switch over to the NL wildcard race. It's pretty thinned out at this point. You have your Dodgers with the best record. You've got Atlanta right now, which is pretty close. They haven't clinched the division over the Mets yet, but they both clinched playoff spots. And then you got your Cardinals just clinched the division. So wild card teams, however, it's a little bit of a toss-up. Either Atlanta or the Mets are going to lock up that first spot. But Padres, I think, are going to be able to hang on for that second spot. I don't see that being an issue. But I think Philadelphia and Milwaukee, it's going to be a tight race. Milwaukee's only 1.5 games back.
That's not bad, especially with how many games? 12 games to go right now. And the Padres' magic number right now is 4. Cuatro. Okay? They are going to make it 2.5 games above the wild card in the second spot, or the third spot, excuse me. They're going to be okay. Okay? I don't see that being a problem right now for them. Right now, they're 8-2 in the last 10, especially with last night being the Dodgers, which, you know what? That was a good game. That was a close game. Watch that all the way. But it's going to be between the Phillies and the Brewers, okay? If the Brewers can somehow find something in them, they're going to be okay. And they're going to make it. But Phillies are the ones that are struggling right now. 3-7 in the last 10. And you know what? Bats have not been it, and pitching has been falling apart. And once they go into playoffs, if they do make it, it's just a series of, or playoffs is just about who's hot or not. So if they're still somehow in the playoffs and they're limping in, they're not going to make it far. So they have to quickly act up if they want to make it far into the playoffs.
Absolutely. And if looking at the playoff postseason picture right now, if the Phillies do manage to squeeze by, they're playing the Cardinals. I don't see them beating the Cardinals.
That's not
Cardinals
an easy
right now they've got the energy, they've got the talent, they've got the pool host, they've got Molina, they've got Wainwright. Those guys, they're on their last and final stretch. They're going to give it their all. I don't see them making an issue. Kyle Schwarber has tried to carry Philadelphia on his back.
Yeah, with his dongs.
With his many homers. I think he's at like 35, 36, something like that. But he's doing a great job. Real Muto has been pretty solid too. But like you said, their bats have been quiet. Pitching hasn't been it. I don't see him getting past the first round if they manage to hang on and get in the playoffs in the first place.
Exactly. So as I see it right now, Padres obviously going to clinch that spot. No bias. Or
what about postseason? How do we?
Okay,
against the Braves. First round against the Braves.
We've been hot so far. Okay, we have a chance. Okay, hey,
against the Braves.
Yes. All right. Hey, let's not embrace our Yankees tradition and choke in the first week.
What about last year? You want me to bring up last year? Yeah. Anyways, Padres are not. I don't personally. Sorry to do that to you.
It's okay.
I don't see them getting past the Braves.
Respect.
I don't. The Braves, if they had Tatis and if they were on a hot streak, it'd be a different story.
Yeah.
But not the Braves. The Braves are on a tear right now. They're pitching, their bullpen, all around, they're doing really solid.
Yeah, so you know what? I think Phillies are going to clinch up that last period or that last spot. So that's what I all got to say. And they're in there now.
So, but I think that's all we have time for today.
Yep, that's all we have time for. Thank you so much for tuning in for our debut episode of On Deck. If you enjoyed, then tune in for next week for our next episode. Socials are in the link description. Wall Street Sports Network on Instagram and Twitter. And anything else?
No, I think that just about covers it. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and we will see you guys next week.
See ya.